Hello everyone, it's SpawnPoint and this is the PS5 Pro, which I've been using for the last week. And today I want to show you what it can actually do. Now, I did an unboxing a few days ago, but today we're going to look at everything that you need to know. This includes new settings, how the PS4 games look with a game boost, showing some of those PS5 Pro Enhanced Games, and of course how it performs. And I'm also going to show you how to transfer your games from an old PS5 if you're upgrading, and installing the disk drive. Hopefully I will try to answer everything that you could possibly think of, but if I've missed anything, just drop your questions below. Right, so the first thing to talk about is the setup process. Now, if you've got or you've set up a PS5 before, the good news is it is absolutely no different with the Pro. So it's a case of deciding if you're standing it up or laying it flat. If you're using it horizontally, it does come with these little plastic feet in the box to use. These just clip on the side and keep it level. Or if you want to use it vertically, you will need to buy one of these vertical stands. This just attaches underneath and screws into place. Then plug in your HDMI and power cable, power it on and watch the welcome screen. Then all you have to do is run through the various setup screens, plug in the controller and apply any updates and sign in. And the easiest way to do this is to scan the on-screen QR code and it will sign you straight into your PlayStation account. Okay, now this might be a good time to talk about transferring your games from another PS5 if you've already got one. And there are a couple of ways you can do this. The first, which quite a few of you did ask about, is can you migrate an NVMe SSD from one PS5 to another? And the good news is, yes you can, and you don't need to format it. So here on my PS5 Slim, I've got a 2TB NVMe plugged in, but I still have quite a few games on the console itself. So all you need to do is choose the games you want to keep and move those over to the SSD drive. And it is rapid to do it this way. It will literally just take you a few seconds to minutes to transfer. Then once done, just remove this drive. Open up the PS5 Pro by taking off the top cover that does not have the PlayStation logo on. Remove this screw and remove the metal cover. Now refit the SSD drive, fit that into place with the screw and fit everything back into place. And that is it, I am now back on the PS5 Pro with all of my games from the PS5 Slim. The only thing is missing are my game saves and my screen captures. And that is where the second option comes in. So if you don't have an internal SSD installed, well, you can run through the data transfer option instead. This is under settings, system, and then data transfer. And this will actually use your local network to copy your games or data from one console to the other. But be warned, it can take a long time. But once you've done this, you've now got all of your game saves and your game data transferred onto the PS5 Pro. And now that we're up and running, this is what the UI looks like. And it is exactly the same as the normal PS5. So we've got the welcome hub, all of your usual game tiles, the game library, and so on. So nothing in terms of the UI or how this looks is new, but that's not really surprising. Now, something I did want to test out as well was would the new PS5 Pro Enhanced Games show anything on the UI or the game tile itself? You know, to show us that this is a Pro Enhanced game. Well, at least today there is no indication that these games are Pro Enhanced. Hopefully at some point we will see an update, as it would be cool if there was a little Pro icon next to each game, like the way we do with the PS5 and the PS4 icons next to each tile. Oh, and another thing, in case you wondered, when you're online it does not show that you're playing on a PS5 Pro, as the icon is exactly the same as the PS5 icon. Again, this would be cool if it was updated for no other reason than to show off to your mates. Right, and you've probably noticed this already, but the PS5 Pro does not come with a disk drive, and there's no option to buy this with the console with the drive pre-installed. However, you can install one of these drives onto the site. It's a shame, and it's obviously an extra cost if you do need a drive for your physical games. But the good news is this is the same drive that fits onto the PS5 Slim. So if you've got a Slim already, or you can find one of these in stock, well, you can simply install it and you're good to go. All you need to do is remove the bottom cover, click the drive into place and reattach the new cover that comes in the box. And boom, we have now got a PS5 Pro with a disk drive. And I think this actually looks pretty good with a drive added on. And I know a few of you wanted to see how this would look with a drive installed both vertically and horizontally. So here you go. And then as there's no eject button on the front of the PS5 anymore, and that's because the button is now on the drive itself. So just press this and it will eject the disk you have installed. Now, I did mention this during my unboxing video, but I wanted to confirm it here as well, and that's that the console covers that you can buy for the PS5 Slim do not fit on the Pro console. Technically, the bottom covers fit, and that's why the disc drive and the cover fits on both consoles, but the top covers unfortunately do not fit. Now, this means if you're wanting to change the colour of your Pro, you're going to need to wait for a new set of covers to launch specifically for the Pro console, and this is a huge disappointment, as I'm sure a few of you already have some Slim console covers already, and it would have been a prime opportunity for PlayStation to consolidate their cover lineup into one simple design, but I guess not. Right, let's talk about the new specs of the PS5 Pro. So fortunately, Sony did include this in the box, which means we get to see exactly what the PS5 Pro is packing. I will demonstrate this in a minute with some gameplay for both PS5 and PS4 games, but here is the current spec list. So it now comes with a 2TB SSD as standard, which is great to see. Loads more space here for your games, plus there's of course the NVMe slots on the inside if you need to expand it further. It also has an upgraded custom GPU, and this is what's giving us more power, faster rendering of games, and the ability to run them at a higher resolution in supported games. It is said that the GPU is 67% more powerful than the base PS5, and those extra 6 teraflops is going to make a difference. But the big two features here that we're getting on the PS5 Pro is the advanced ray tracing and PSSR. So advanced ray tracing are the reflections and the shadows that we get in games, like in the puddles on the floor and in the shop windows. It's the extra detail that we normally see in those PC comparison videos with RTX maxed out, and this is going to give games that extra level of detail that we've never seen before. But the big one for me is PSSR, or PlayStation Spectral Super Resolution. Now this is the AI super upscaler that's able to take a lower resolution of the game, say 1440p, and upscale it using AI into 4K. Now this might not sound like a big deal, but when you see some of the games that I've tested this on already, it looks incredible. It also means some games can now run at 60 or even 120 FPS, while still maintaining the image quality that you would normally get in fidelity or resolution modes. Now, since the PS5 Pro was announced, we've started seeing more and more games being updated to be Pro Enhanced. And this means these games have been optimized or updated to run the games with the new PS5 Pro features. Now, I won't run through them all, but these are some of the games that PlayStation or the developers have confirmed. And this list looks pretty impressive already. So we've got Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Black Ops 6, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, God of War Ragnarok, the Horizon games, Spider-Man 2. I mean, there are literally more than 50 officially announced and nearly 100 in total on the website. Now, I actually expect to see even more games listed over the coming months as well, but this is a great start for day one. Okay, so first of all, I tested out Spider-Man 2. Now in the settings, there's a new option under graphics mode called Performance Pro and Fidelity Pro. Performance Pro targets a smooth 60 FPS while keeping the image quality from the normal fidelity mode, as well as ray tracing being switched on. And this is done using PSSR. So what this means is we're able to get the same image quality from the fidelity mode, but with the same performance mode of 60 FPS. Or if we enable the Fidelity Pro, which lowers the resolution to 30 FPS, but it will allow you to play around with the ray tracing options and the settings. Now, having played both, I can safely say that the performance mode is unreal. It literally looks like the normal fidelity mode in terms of the image quality and ray tracing, but it runs incredibly smoothly at the same time. This is 100% the mode that you will want to play in as it looks so good. And next up was The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered. And as soon as you switch this on, you get a pop-up asking if you want to enable the new Pro mode. And immediately it was clear just how much more detail this has for what is essentially a performance mode. So we're getting 60 FPS while getting the same resolution thanks to PSSR as the fidelity mode. But just for comparison, here's how it looks with the fidelity mode. So you can see just how detailed the leaves are on the right side of the screen or the bag in the middle. And then this is the performance mode where the leaves and the bag have lost a little bit of detail here and it almost looks a little bit blurry. And then the final one is the new Pro mode, where it looks as good as the fidelity mode but runs as well as performance mode. And this is the biggest difference here, as it means once again we can play using the best of both modes without having to choose or sacrifice in anything. So again, from my testing so far, this mode, the new Performance Pro mode, is 100% the one that I will use. And if you saw the update from PlayStation, well, Horizon Zero Dawn recently got a remaster, so I had to check this out. It now has two options in the settings for the Pro, which is Performance Pro and Resolution Pro. The performance mode targets 60 FPS, improved depth of field and improved definition, while the resolution mode targets just 30 FPS, but of course a better image. But again, from my testing between the two, literally swapping from performance to resolution, I can hardly see a difference. Yet the frame rate is a huge difference. Now what this actually tells us is that the PSSR feature has done an incredible job of boosting the resolution and still keeping that 60 FPS. So it's taken a lot lower resolution, say a 1080p or 1440p, and upscaling it so well using AI that it actually looks like a native resolution. Okay, then we've got Ratchet & Clank Rift Apart, which also gives us two new graphics modes, including Fidelity Pro and Performance Pro. Again, both with the same settings as we saw on Spider-Man 2. Now I played using both of these, and once you've used the performance mode, where you're getting at least 60 FPS instead of 30 FPS, let's be honest, you cannot go back. So we're getting the smoother frame rate and the improved visuals from fidelity mode, and you know what, I have a feeling that all of the games we're going to test are going to have a similar result, where performance mode no longer restricts us on graphics thanks to PSSR. Stellar Blade also gets a new PS5 Pro setting, so here we get the Pro and the Pro Max. One targets the quality or the resolution, while the other targets the frame rate. I toggle between the two, and again, overall the performance option is the best option for this game. And another game that I really wanted to test out today, but at the time of recording, this update has not gone live yet, and that was for the Crew Motorfest. Now this for me is one of the best arcade racing games on the PlayStation to play. I've put a few hours into it, in fact I've actually completed this game already, so I really wanted to see what the new PSSR looked like on here. Now I know it gives us improved graphics with the full frame rate, but again I was not able to test this today as the update or the option wasn't there. And the same applied to GT7 or Gran Turismo 7. Now we know the update is going to be coming and it's going to support 8K, but unfortunately at the time of recording the update was not live, so I could not test it in today's video. So not only do we get improvements for the PS5 games, there is a new mode for your old PS4 games as well. So with the Pro there is now an option called Game Boost. This is designed to give over 8,500 PS4 games a boost in image quality. So if you go to Settings, Screen and Video Output, there is a new option here that you'll only see on the Pro, and it's called Enhance Image Quality for PS4 games. So it kind of does exactly what it says. Now this is off by default, so you'll want to switch this on. I've tested out a few games this week and here's how it went. So this is Bloodborne, a game that a lot of you wanted to see compared. So this is the game running on the PS5 Pro with the setting turned off. And again, with the new option switched on, you should hopefully be able to see that there is a slight boost in sharpness and clarity here as I toggle between the two. You can kind of see that the overall sharpness has definitely got a slight increase. And next up is one of my favourite PS4 games to play, and that is Mafia, the Definitive Edition. Now this got remastered a few years ago and it looks great already, but after jumping back and forth between the two modes, comparing them side by side in this game, I can see absolutely no difference at all. Now it's maybe a little bit sharper, but seriously not enough to say that the boost has made any real difference to this game. And don't forget that this enhanced image quality boost doesn't actually change much to the game. It's using AI to upscale the overall sharpness and the clarity of the game, so you're not going to suddenly see a boost in FPS or image quality. Days Gone is another one I wanted to show you. So here it is with the options switched off, and again with the new PS4 image enhancement switched on. Can you see a difference? I was looking really closely at Deacon's jacket and guns on his back, and the fact that I'm having to look this close, I'm not really seeing much of a difference. Again, it is a little bit sharper, but I don't think it's enough to say that the Pro has boosted this game beyond what it looked like already. Now I'm sure there are loads of other PS4 games worth testing, so let me know what games you would like to see tested on the side by side like this. PlayStation also confirmed that the Pro will have 8K support, which isn't going to be for every game, but there's already one that takes advantage of this, and that is GT7. So in photo mode, you'll now be able to view the game in 8K. And not only that, you'll be able to take screenshots in those supported games up to 8K as well. So this option will be grayed out if the game you're running is not running at 8K. Otherwise you can toggle this on and take an 8K capture, which is pretty cool. Okay, and then we have the fan sound, which for a PS5 pushing more power could impact the sound this console makes. Now I don't have a decibel meter, so unfortunately this isn't going to be a scientific test, but what I can say is that the PS5 Pro is not louder than the base PS5, and in my opinion is quieter than the PS5 Slim. You can just about hear the fans when you're sitting right next to it, but it's quiet, and you can only just about hear it under full load. But here's a couple of sound tests of each of the consoles. And while we're comparing these, you can also see how the three of them look side by side. So the PS5 Pro is almost the same height as the original PS5, but the same width as the PS5 Slim. I do still have the disc drive attached to keep it fair, but the PS5 Pro would obviously normally come without a drive attached, and the same again when laying them down. So this is how the Pro compares to the original PS5, and then again against the Slim PS5. So it's a lot slimmer looking than the original PlayStation 5. But out of these three, which one do you think looks the best? And the final thing I want to answer is it worth buying? Well, the issue is it really comes down to a few things. The first is, do you have a TV or monitor that will take advantage of the boost in performance and resolution of those supported games? Because if not, you're probably not going to see much of a difference anyway. And then we have the fact that you will likely want to buy a disc drive and a stand, so adding another £130, making it an £830 console. Now if we take a like-for-like PS5 Slim with a disc drive, stand and an extra 1TB SSD, that would put it at £599. So you're paying around £230 more for the boost in performance with ray tracing and PSSR, and of course the PlayStation 4 game boost. Now I would say if you've got a base PS5 and you're not overly bothered about chasing pixels, resolution and frame rates, just stick with that PS5. But if you want the games you play to look and run the best that they can possibly be, and you've got a monitor or TV that supports it, the Pro really is a nice step up, especially for those games that run at 60 FPS with the fidelity quality. In fact, since using this one for the last week, I've actually bought another Pro so I can use it in my living room, as I am not going back to a normal PS5 now. But let me know if you're going to buy one for yourself and what games you're looking forward to playing first. Now drop a nice PS5 Pro in the comments and I'll give you a thumbs up for staying right till the end. And if you did enjoy today's video, check out my full unboxing video next, as it covers what we get inside the PS5 Pro box. Well, thanks for watching, please like, subscribe and follow me everywhere. Until next time.